Today, we've got a very special Mother's Day episode on the Biz Talk. I've got here with me the founder of Young Nails, the woman that started it all, Young Salo, and she's going to talk about her journey, why she started the business, all kinds of crazy stories right now on the Biz Talk. All right, Mom. Crazy stories.
Not really. It's adventure.
That it is an adventure, but
yeah, it's not a crazy. It's adventure.
yeah,
right?
but a lot of the stories that we went through, you have to admit, are pretty crazy.
It was
Like there's not a lot of people that can handle that kind of
pressure.
That kind of pressure, right?
That's true. That is true.
And what's interesting to me as your son and somebody that's been working with you for the last almost 20 years is I'm 45 years old. You decided to start the business at 49.
Yes.
Right. So first of all, why did you want to start a business? Like, what was going on? Why not? Like, Greg and I were out of the house. Well, Greg wasn't. I was out of the house. But we were older.
Yes.
And like ready to kind of explore life, and you decide to start the business. Why? That's the question I have. Like it's just an interesting thing to do at 49. Why?
Yeah, but I never felt 49 is old.
Right.
Yeah, so I have to.
So that wasn't even in your head.
Absolutely, and I figured it out. Keep myself busy because you guys are out of the house. I feel so empty.
Yeah.
So I got a feeling, the empty feelings.
Yeah, when we
when
moved
you moved
house,
out,
right.
I was cry all the time.
Well, because I left. That's why you're.
Yeah, yes. It's true.
Yeah.
When Gregory left, but when you left, my baby left. Oh my God, I was crying about the 3 months.
3 months.
But, yeah.
I remember.
Yeah.
I remember you told me that.
Yeah, but that was so I have to keep myself busy.
Right.
That's the reason.
So naturally, I mean, people just don't start a business when they want to keep themselves busy. To me, it was in you. Like you've been thinking about this for quite some time.
Yes.
Maybe it was on your mind.
Yeah, always I gotta do something. Business adventure.
Yeah.
But that's the purpose.
Yeah.
Then now I don't have any children around me. Just I could explore my life.
Yeah, of course.
So that's something busy.
What's the thing that always I think about is you started this business, and at that time I know Dad was kind of in the middle of his career as a mechanic. He had his own auto shop. He maybe didn't want to go with those kinds of risks, but you went with him anyway. I mean,
yeah, I didn't tell him.
you didn't say anything to him.
I didn't say anything.
Why?
So
because he would say no.
That's
Yeah,
definite. And he's a mechanic. He doesn't believe risk his financial.
He was conservative.
He is very conservative.
Well, he had his own business,
yeah,
right? So
and,
in that way, he was an entrepreneur by having his own business, but still, like he was very he was safe, right?
That's right.
Right.
That's right. But for me, that's
Push
not
it all
enough.
in.
Push it all in.
So I want to talk about like for a long time it was hard. I remember those hard times. As a matter of fact, that's what keeps me working so hard every day. Even today, Mom, that we're very lucky. We have this amazing business, international business. We're still growing today. But even with a successful international business, I still work just as hard as when we first started because I remember those hard times. I never want to go back to that.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
But talk about those times. I mean, I think it would be helpful for a lot of people because right now there's a lot of, women out there in the nail business. They want to start their own salon or their careers, and maybe they're thinking, this is hard, but that's part of it, right? Like there's no escaping that.
Absolutely. When you start a business, there's always a risk, but only thing you can reach the goal, you gotta keep drive.
Yeah.
That's the only way, and you have to be an expert at that field.
Yeah.
That's the only thing. As any business you started it, you have to be an expert in that field.
Right.
And we are actually. All these years, what we did, we know every part of their business,
Yeah.
their business. So anybody they want to try to business, they have to stick with one way, and they have to be an expert. So when customer asks the question, you have to answer
Yeah.
it. Yeah, that's
So like that is very true. Obviously, you have to gain expertise in an area, but the part that people don't talk about, and something that you can't learn in business school, for example, is when things really go wrong, right? When things really go wrong, how do you handle it? How do you do? Because from 1992 to like 2005, right? Even like I started in 2000. So, but in 1992, you and Greg were on this journey for 8 years. I started with you in 2000, 2005. So from that time period, that block, there was a lot of things that went wrong. How do you deal with that when it seems like it's the end? Many times it seemed like that. How do you deal with it?
But I never give up. One day, I'm gonna reach that goal.
But what do you tell yourself? Like when we had situations where we tried to work with certain partners and we had people steal from us. We had people completely rip us off for tens of thousands of dollars, anywhere from $20,000 to $60,000.
Yeah.
We've literally had stolen from the company, right?
That's true.
When that happens, like today, that would be a lot of money,
I
right?
know.
It would be like scary money. In 1994 or 95, that was like, we have to close the business down. How do you mentally like, what do you tell yourself, Mom? Seriously, that's a really hard thing to deal with.
Yeah, but for me, there's nothing scare. I'll get over this hurdle. If I stick with it, I'm not gonna give up, and that's the kind of mentality you have to day and night. I'm gonna get over this one. I'm gonna get over this.
Keep
stepping forward. That's the only. Any business, anyway, everybody goes through that kind of hurdle.
Have you always been like that? Like even when you were a kid?
Yes.
Where does that come from? What do you think?
I think I grew up between the four brothers, and my father was kind of a businessman. So I have that kind of, since I was very young age, I always drive, because after Korea War, all family was really poor, and there's nothing. But when I started school, they put me after war, because so many years you missed it because of war.
Yeah.
So they put me the elementary school. I was already 10 years old by the time I finished the war. And they put me when war broke up, I was only first grade.
Okay.
So by the time it's finished, it's already 7 years to 10 years old. So they put me just right to the third grade, but didn't make me feel anything. Right away, I caught up. But then 6 months later, they put me on another grade. 6 months later, another grade. So within 1 year, they skipped me 3 years.
Uh-huh.
And I didn't have any problem catching up.
Yeah.
And that's how I was always.
So even at an early age, like when you were faced with challenges, in this case, like real life challenges like the Korean War, and they're just moving you up in grades, you're let me take the challenge on. Even as a kid, it was just in you.
Yeah. But I work even that age, I just work the studies. That time I was very skinny and
You're still skinny.
So my father was worried. He took away book, and I want to get healthier, not study. But I didn't. I covered on my head with a blanket. I finished the homework under the blanket, so my father didn't see what I'm doing.
You were also the first one in your family to come to the United States. Is that correct? Like
Yes.
from
Yeah,
your
from,
family.
yeah,
And
another sibling.
so and why did you want to come to the United States back then?
Well, first of all, is after Korea War, we went through a hard time because my father passed away. He was only 40 years old. My mother was
Wow.
38. And everybody, I started working, I was 15. During their work and go to high school, junior high and the high school, skip, and I end up finish high school. And then I say, it's just, one of my friends took me the movie, they called The Splendor of Glass, and that was a really nice movie. When I saw the American movie first time in my life, I say, that's it, that's the country.
That's where you want to go.
That's the country I want to go. And never stop ever since that time. I studied English just day and night, and I memorized it. And
So that you could come here.
yes, and luckily, the company I used to work, and my boss, he really liked me. He told me, do you want to go to America? I said, yes. 3 months later, here I am. Since 1970, I'm still here.
You're still here.
Yeah.
And then your family soon, because you were here, you
Yes.
were able to bring your family over from Korea, correct?
Yes.
Back then.
Yeah.
That's in itself like a huge, I think about myself today, like if I went to a foreign country, bringing my family there and going there, I mean, that's a big deal. That's really
I
hard.
know.
That's a big deal.
Yeah, when I came to States, we don't have money. I came with $200. But that time, gas was 29 cents.
So $200 is a lot of money.
It was pretty good. I was able to get
Yeah.
studio type apartment. I pay like $60, $50 a month.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so even $200 I could survive. But I went to work right after I got here. Second day I went to work, so I have no problem to continue my rent. Then
So there's like obviously there's a pattern of you accepting challenges and, having success when you were younger, having major challenges in your life, like the Korean War, obviously living through that. I can't even imagine then, being inspired by watching a movie and then deciding I want to go there and then actually executing and making it happen.
that's right.
So by the time Greg and I left the house, you already were like, I can do this.
I can absolutely
I can do this.
because when you guys, I was devoted all for you and Gregory. Then
Yeah.
as soon as you
and
guys,
you did a great job, Mom.
oh, thank you.
Really. great
Yeah,
mother.
that's really, I have to do something.
Yeah.
So I always dreamed one day I'm gonna own the big business.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just and I never give up.
Yeah.
It happened. Reality, it's really happened.
Some of the struggles I remember were, there were times where you had to ask for money, right? Like obviously our cash flow situation was really bad at many points, but friends, family, and I mean that was hard to go and ask and try to borrow and bring in funds. I mean, I know a lot of people, in the community were not thinking very positively of you at that time,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, absolutely. All the relatives, when they eye contact, they are afraid
You're gonna ask for money.
Ask them for borrow the money. So
I remember that. Man.
yeah, but luckily my sister,
Yeah.
she supported me. My brother supported me.
I remember.
And when I really need it, sometimes my gas is shut down and the house electricity
Lights.
get down and the water shut down.
Yeah.
And they were supporting me. And
I remember when in 2000 when we got the letter from the bank where they basically they were saying were foreclosing on your house.
Yes.
And that was a moment where, you know, it was like, okay, what do we do? Is this it? Do we just shut the business down now? Like, it got that bad where we were in hundreds of thousands of dollars of debt. You know, that doesn't even, like, suppliers, banks, the credit card. I remember the credit card companies, you know, having to, when I started in the business, that was part of my job, right? Was dealing, I remember calling the credit card companies, negotiating, and them saying, you owe us this much money, you need to pay. And I literally got to a point where I said, you either put us on a plan or you're never getting your money.
Yeah.
And that was the only way that we could negotiate with the credit. And they said, okay, here's what we're going to do.
Yes.
And they actually put us on like a 5-year payment plan, which eventually we were able to, you know, I think really the turnaround was when, you know, the three of us were able to sit down and say, okay, Greg, you go focus on sales.
That's right.
You know, Mom, you're going to focus on purchasing, and let me deal with the money. And that teamwork, you know, our ability to really work together as a family and get a little bit more organized, we started to see things.
Yeah.
I mean, it was hard. That was hard.
It was hard, but I was so lucky to have both of you. But if I started a business all by myself, I wouldn't make it. But you guys are the really, we're supporting each other.
Yeah.
That's how we are still.
And to this day, you know, we come to work, we see each other every day.
Every day.
It's pretty special.
It is special. And most of the moms, when they reach my age, all the children move out. They cannot see even a couple of times a year. But I'm so lucky I can able to see my children every day.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm very blessed.
And you know, Greg and I love the business, as you know, like we actually genuinely love it. We love building it. We love the challenge. You know, like, you started this thing, and we're continuing on the challenge of really growing this. And it's really interesting to see where things are going right now. It's kind of crazy, right?
It is kind of crazy, but so exciting.
It's very exciting. It's fun.
It is fun.
It's like a giant puzzle that we're piecing together every day.
That's right.
Yeah.
When you get up in the morning, what's coming? What's coming next thing? And it's like a dreaming. A dream come true.
Yeah, I agree. Well, Mom, from Greg and I and everybody, like, you know, I know Mother's Day is coming, and really, we want to wish you a very special, happy Mother's Day. And,
thank you.
You know, thank you for starting the business. I think there's a lot of people out there that would want to thank you. You are the one that started this thing. And, you know, we're all very grateful for that. We really.
One word I like to say, all the mothers, especially who is over 50 years old, there's ages is just numbers.
Love it.
Yeah, you gotta just study something, keep yourself, and you gotta just drive your, dreams.
Sure, if you have a dream, go chase it.
Yes. I started at 49 and 76. I'm still come to work every day. You have to have your own career.
Yeah, absolutely. I love it.
Yeah, yes.
Perfect. Thank you, Mom.
Thank
you all for joining us. We hope you enjoyed this really special Mother's Day episode, and we'll see you next week on the Biz Talk.
Thank you.